Is this thing on? Nah, I'm just kidding. I know it's on. Of course, I'm the one that turned it on. It's not like I can afford some producer in the background and I'm just waving. Hey, I'm ready. Studio time, please. No, well, welcome to Bored and Alone, the podcast where you're bored and I'm alone. With my thoughts mostly. But, yes, I'm here with, I guess, episode 1 of this horrible podcast, not knowing what I'm going to talk about. Conspiracy theories, sports, video games, scandals. I don't think so. I'm not that up to date with scandals. I find those extremely boring and uneventful, unless, no, very uneventful. But yes, hi. I am your host, Hans, and I'm alone. So, yeah, I mean, what did I have written down? I had a couple things written down, maybe just talking about, well, my day. I went to go get a lottery ticket. And I don't know if people play the lottery, if you're old enough to play the lottery or not. But that shit's a humongous amount of money. It's like $278 million. And I was like, holy shit. I was talking to my friend, what would you do with that much money? Strippers and cocaine? Nah, well, I mean, not all of it. Right? For the most part, we came up with some reasonable things, but I thought that'd be interesting just to ask here in the podcast, ask people in the comments, what would you spend your money on? Would it be strippers and cocaine? Or are you a responsible person and you buy a house, a yacht? Tell me the craziest thing that you would buy. A rocket. Busted Jeff Bezos and be like, let me go to the moon. Jeff Bezos does not know how to act. That motherfucker is starting to look like Pitbull. I know, if you haven't seen it, I'm going to post. Jamie, pull up the picture. I'm my own Jamie, by the way. But, yeah, that motherfucker looks like Pitbull now. And it's ridiculous. But he's living his best life after his divorce, right? What are you going to do with that much money? And you don't have to worry about your kids, because you're stacked. You don't have to worry about your ex, because you're still stacked and she took half your money. Bro, live your best life. That man has it figured out now. He's just like, you know what? I don't have to worry about nothing. He's doing the strippers and cocaine part right now, most likely. That man is just partying, bought a fucking yacht. He's just like, bitches, come over and bring the coke. We're going to Colombia. Don't need to bring the coke no more. I don't know. Maybe he's a straight edge guy. I don't know. People act foolish with that amount of money. Shit. Like the other day I was talking about Fetty Wap. I don't know if people remember him. One hit wonder. 1738. I don't want to get monetized. Not even that I'm monetized, but yeah. That man went from hit single. Everybody was saying that shit for 2 months. 1738. And then fell off the grid. One hit wonder. Died. Not really dead physically, but he just disappeared. And now recently arrested for drug trafficking. And I was just thinking to myself, my friend's like, oh my god, how could you do that? I'm like, dude, he was smoking weed all the time. I'd switch. Oh, that transition is easy. He's just like, alright, well, my songs are not bangers anymore. Let me flip some dope. Half the songs in the rap communities are about cooking shit in kitchens, and I doubt they're making pancakes. So, it's not that big of a fucking surprise. But I do feel bad. I mean, the guy made a great song. People were dancing to that bitch in clubs. I remember that. It was a great song. Feel bad for these people. Well, not bad. I mean, I wish I had that amount of money in any point of my time. And in the shortness that it took them, fucking months of just racking in thousands, gold chains, grills, gold plated. But, it is what it is. To each their own. And my path right now doing a podcast. No one will listen to it, but you know, here we are. At least he got the flip though. Anybody got the hookups? Don't tell the feds. Yeah, no. Well, I was thinking that, and I was thinking about. We started discussing about like rich people, like little shit that they worry about that we don't. Like, we're gonna spend our winter. I'm like, we have to think like, okay, bring out the fluffy blankets. They're like, let's go to some summer place in the Bahamas because it's never cold there. We're like, nah. And if you're Hispanic, we're bringing out the tiger cobijas, the every animal cobijas. Those fuckers keep you warm as fuck. This is that time. This is that time of year. Those fuckers come in clutch. In like 2 months, going back to storage for like the rest of the year. Until Christmas comes around again. Then you're just like, where's my hot chocolate? My little cafecito con pan? Ooh, bro, don't talk about that. I'm about to go make me some right now. I'll pause this shit. Nah, I'll do it in a bit. And yeah, and I was just thinking like, you know, fuck. Like these I have a bunch of slippers. I love wearing flip flops and shit because they're so comfortable, especially like in their own like in summertime. I just got addicted to wearing those, especially during COVID, because I was like, you know, I'm not going out. I'm just gonna stay home and sit in my flip flops. I mean, it's not like we had a choice, but right. So I mounted a bunch of them. It was super comfortable, and I'm just thinking like, I want to wear my flip flops right now. I can't speak. Yeah, flip flops right now, but I'd have to wear socks with them, and I'm like, that's kind of douchey. Can't wear those. Definitely can't be seen in public with those. So, is it douchey? When did it become douchey? Flip flops and sandals. I feel like it is kind of douchey. I wouldn't want to do it personally, but to each their own. I want to know. Flip flops, douchey? Not douchey? Let me know. And yeah, I don't know. Just thinking about that randomness. Again, alone with my thoughts here. And then, you know, while thinking all this shit, you know, conversation ended about the rich people and whatever. Then I started watching this show on Hulu, and I don't pay for the premium one, so I have to sit through the ads. And one of their ads just so happens to be for them. How fucking conceited can a company be? They're just like, you're watching my shit, let me promote the premium version. And I was like, I guess. Like, it makes sense, but if I'm already watching it without the premium, does it really think this advertisement is gonna convince me? Like, oh my god, I'm already watching it for free. Why? And then, so, while one of these commercials coming out, there was this whole bit about Sasquatch, like shows that coming out. One of them was like, Finding Sasquatch. And I couldn't help but laugh. Because I was like, we're still searching for this motherfucker? Like, I remember, like, these old-ass ancient aliens, or what is it that came out on the History Channel, like, 4 in the morning, though, that channel had those shits where it's all those conspiracy theories. And back in the day, it was kind of believable. Like, you're like, is it out there? Is it not? People did have shitty cameras. And, you know, you couldn't see shit. But we're literally holding shit that can capture anyone in 4K. Boom. Like, you know, 4K right there. Caught. And if somebody were to run into this people, like, why the fuck don't they have the footage? Right now it's still grainy. It looks like they got a fucking security camera from a fucking bank. With those things, also shitty cameras. Like, how the fuck has he not been caught yet? My personal opinion, I think there is a conspiracy behind the conspiracy where the government is protecting them like endangered species. And if people found out about Bigfoot, they would probably, I don't know, like storm wherever the fuck they did find them because they had legitimate proof. Like, if you do have legitimate proof, you would go to like Yosemite and find, like, oh my god, he was here. They'd make a big ass thing, and then a bunch of people might actually find him. So the government, if you post it up on some website or some shit, I'm pretty sure there's like an NSA agent like, oh, we got another fucker that actually found him. And then they send somebody there, and they're like, look, you can either delete it, or we kill you. And then, most people would delete it. And then come off as crazy. But what if it's true? What if it is true? And what if they are protecting the species? Or, and let's dig ourselves deeper into the conspiracy hole, the Sasquatch have a civilization like Wakanda. And, to avoid war between the U.S. and the Sasquatchians. Sasquatchians? Is that what you would call them? Like, they're just like, look, we're going to keep your shit under wraps. Just, keep it cool, dog. Just keep it cool. Keep it cool. I don't know. And, just dig yourself deeper into these conspiracies. That's why I don't believe most of them. It's just like if the government's covering it up and they're putting in this much effort, people don't know how to act. We've seen what happened in 2020. Why the fuck would we want to know more information? They can't even handle simple information. For fuck's sakes. If we were told to stay inside, if somebody told us where Bigfoot would be, they're like, do not visit him, there'd be a swarm of motherfuckers there. Yeah. That's my 2 cents on my conspiracy theory bit. Just because I don't want us to be like a conspiracy theory kind of podcast, Something more on the lines of I'll talk about anything or anyone because I have a lot on my mind. And this seemed fun. People do it all the time. They're like, let's start a podcast. And I was like, well, if every idiot can do it, I should be one of the idiots also doing it, right? I'm not a genius. Wouldn't be talking to myself here, right? Right? Yeah, of course. Why would you be talking to yourself? I don't know. But it is what it is. What's another conspiracy theory that you could probably dig another hole into? What would be one? I don't know. Leave it in the comments. Let me know what's a good conspiracy theory to just deep dive and divulge into its own little conspiracy theory within a conspiracy theory. That might actually become a thing. I might Google something later. And yeah, I do want to do a thing where right as I'm gonna end this, I'm gonna put a funny TikTok, because I think I'm gonna post one of these up a week, maybe twice a week, something like that, something consistent. And it's gonna be about the funniest meme I've seen in a while, or a very creative one. I've seen one recently that I'm gonna post up in a bit. Towards the end, it's gonna be there and post up the creator's name and link down below. TikTok. I thought it was fucking hilariously original, just built on a trend, on top of a trend. So it was little hint. It was just one of those go little rock star, and it's supposed to be motivational, right? Where it's chase your dream, I guess. But then it takes an amazing turn, and I thought it was funny. But to each their own. Let me know what you think about that towards the end of the video. Well, the podcast, really, it's a video podcast. I don't know. So a little bit of both because it may have some visuals, but I don't know why I said that. I'm new to this. And to end it all off, I think I want to talk about. No, you know what? Why drag it on, right? I think that's perfect. Hopefully everybody had a good New Year's. I'm starting off my New Year's resolution with this podcast, just other little things that I wanted to start off, but I always had that little excuse of not doing it. And January seemed like the perfect time, because if I give up, everyone's like, okay, everybody gives up after January, It's at least you tried. So I hope I stay to it, but we'll see. We'll see. And again, let me know what you would want me to research or actually deep dive into stuff, because I love looking into stuff. I love reading a bunch of just random articles, not necessarily all that drama shit, because all that drama shit is just, it happens, doesn't happen, who cares? Are we really gonna go to war? Maybe. Am I gonna get drafted? Probably not, you know? Like, I mean, if worst comes to worst, they push me into a draft. I mean, like, I'm like, damn, y'all really scraping the bottom of the barrel. Like, imagine all the TikTokers go to the front lines. Like, shit. We're gonna lose this one. That's for sure. Like, I don't know. We're not necessarily building a strong army. We're building a socially acceptable one. I don't know if that wins wars, but like I said, it's just an opinion. I think America's great. Long live America, cocksuckers. But yeah, I guess I'll leave it at that. Don't forget to like or dislike. The internet loves to dislike shit, and that's why I love this shithole. It's not meant to be good. It's not meant to be bad. It's just supposed to be something that happens. A shithole. You know, somewhere you can find like very useful information, and then you can find some very non-useful information. Like, I found out that there was a website that I forget the name of, but you could rate people's shit on it. Like, from 1 star to 4 stars, half a star. How good is your shit? And people would like link it as part of like, oh, this is one of those links. Not a lot of people do it nowadays, but I remember back in the day, early internet, they used to link it to like, oh, this is the new trailer for blah blah blah, and it's just a website to like show you a bunch of shit pictures. Literally shit posting. But I thought that was hilarious. Like, that to me is peak internet. Rating shit. We need to know if you're healthy. People do it to babies all the time, and we forget to take care of ourselves. So hate me, hate my opinions, scream it out to the world, or like it, and people will dislike it because you like it, and that whole shit cycle it'll work itself out. And let me know. Mystical beasts, Greek mythology, philosophy. I love Greek mythology. That's interesting to me, but I'm not going to talk about that now. Here is the TikTok I was talking about. Watch it. I thought it was funny. You do what you will with that information. And until the next time I decide to record something, this has been The Bored and Alone Show by your host, Hans. Until next time.